Hello and welcome to Media of the Future, episode number 49. I am Juliette and I have
Celia.
Jasmine.
And unfortunately, Chai.
we're so happy to have Chai here with us. Such a blessing. So today for our presentation, we're talking about the evolution of podcasting while doing a podcast. Isn't that cool?
That's
guys?
some big brain stuff right now.
That is like some
Some
futurist thing.
big brain
Like,
stuff.
Professor,
Living in the
just
future.
this alone is like A. Okay.
Just giving us the name. Don't
give
even
us
watch
the
it.
Don't even watch the rest. You don't have to show the
You
rest.
don't need to watch the rest of it.
The
Just the fact
idea
that we
is
did
A.
all of this is an A.
What is a podcast?
Podcast is somewhere where there's like a mic and you talk into the mic and they upload it somewhere and then they edit it and then they put it out. But it's also cool people sitting down talking about facts and information.
Yeah, it's like they talk about different topics. People want to hear like comedy or the history of stuff or mystery and all of that.
Yeah, like you could sit in a, like I said, in a circle and talk about anything you want to talk about.
Literally.
It could be a
anything.
solo or a
Anything.
group.
It
Right?
could be anything with people.
Just fun.
And, yeah, you can have common interest, no interest.
No interest.
You could talk about, you could just eat food and just
Oh,
let the
yeah.
sound go like,
Mukbang. A
Yeah,
mukbang
bro.
and a podcast.
ASMR podcasting, man, just like how Juliette's trying to do it. Anyway, but I searched up on Google and it said podcasting is a means of publishing audio and video content on the web as a series of episodes with a common theme.
So we
Which is
are
very-
right. Love it when I'm right.
All right, so history. Let's get back to it.
Okay, so the person who invented podcasts was this guy named Adam Curry in 2000.
Was he Steph Curry's brother?
No.
Ah.
He had no shot, boy.
All right, but did you know there's also somebody else? Do you guys know who it was?
His friend Dave Weiner.
Winner? One
Yeah,
of those,
winner.
whatever
He's
they
a
are.
real winner.
He did win with podcasting.
Yeah.
Literally won.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then in 2004, he used when the iPod was out, the iPod Touch and all that stuff, he took advantage of it and started posting his own podcast on there.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Look what you did, Steve Jobs. You
Good
created
for
jobs.
you.
So yeah. So that's what that did.
Yeah, and then since then, it grew so much. Like, Joe Rogan Experience, Trash
Who?
Taste, 360, I don't know, 365 days. What other podcasts? So many podcasts that they're just blown up in these past few years, especially with COVID.
Okay, but like Joe Rogan, even Joe Rogan Experience. Not to piggyback. Who knew who Joe Rogan was before the podcast?
No one.
I knew
Only
him from
Fear Factor.
Right? So
That's it.
it's just, but he's like one of the leading podcasters in the world right now because he just signed that big deal with Spotify. I was about to say a word I was supposed to
Spotify
say.
exclusive.
Yes. And he's just making billions of dollars. But I think what Joe Rogan did that started a new field was he added the visuals on YouTube. Because I don't think a lot of people did that. They just probably did audio. And I feel like Joe Rogan did a double whammy for the people. And people love that. But yeah.
Yeah, I feel like with video, you just feel like you're there.
Yeah,
Literally.
because it's like,
You're one
You're
of,
in
you're,
the
you're one
room
of the
with them.
guests.
Exactly.
because
You're in the room, you're listening.
you're right there.
Yeah.
Or you're right there.
You're right
or
there.
you're right there.
Having
So,
a big screen.
It makes it better.
It does.
Yeah.
I really enjoy watching video podcasts compared to audio.
I think so too.
For the most part. If I'm busy.
True, which is how convenient podcast is. Because if you're driving and you're stuck in traffic on the 405, you're not supposed to be watching the visual. You're supposed to be watching the audio. I mean, not watching.
Hearing the
Listening to
Listening to the audio.
No,
But
bro, you
same
can watch
thing.
stuff on the freeway. What are you talking about?
going in
We're in
Tesla, the
class. You can't
screen.
tell people to do that.
We
Oh, yeah,
do
true.
not support.
Stay safe, drive safe.
Yeah.
But hear the podcast.
But listen to the podcast. So yeah, so podcasts are convenient in that sense of like you can listen to it while doing other things like multitasking, like driving.
And some of the podcasts are free. There's no restrictions to them.
Oh yeah,
listen to this stuff for the most part.
You don't
We
gotta-
love
have to-
free 99.
Yeah,
we
they don't
love
have to pay
that.
another subscription.
Exactly.
Honestly, you can learn so much from it too without paying anything. Wow, nowadays that's like crazy, bro. 'Cause you
Podcast,
have to
please
pay for
don't charge
everything.
me 99 cents, okay?
Unless you listen to your podcast on Spotify or Apple Podcasts.
Some of them are free.
Oh, they are?
Some of them.
But I mean, don't you prefer the scripture?
On Spotify, you can pay for it without ads, which is cool, but you can still listen to it with ads.
I'm bougie. I don't do ads.
You don't
Nope,
like
I ain't got time.
I don't do
Ain't got
ads on
time.
YouTube. I don't do ads on Spotify.
Same.
She ain't got time for that.
YouTube Premium. They get that $15 every month.
I
Direct.
don't know about YouTube
Wait,
Premium.
It's 15.
That was $9.99.
What am I paying then?
Extra Premium.
Or $4.99. One of those two.
What am I paying then?
Oh, she's paying extra premiums.
Yeah.
YouTube.
Darn.
You're paying
Sorry,
extra,
Chai.
extra.
You're looking at me so disappointed. You're so disappointed.
I'm trying to save that money.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, bro, we're broke college students. Come on.
Yeah, we're broke college students. I was gonna say what I think I like about podcasting is that like they have these different genres. So it's like you can pick what you like.
want.
Like you can do self-help, you can do like horror, you can do comedy, you can do crime, mystery.
Yeah.
You can do all of these things, which is like so innovative because it's like you have your audience and you have your niche.
Yeah, and you can like pick what interests you. You know what I mean? Like this is what I want to learn about today.
Right? It's like all these like cool self-help yogis teaching you how to meditate. Or you can go watch like a murder mystery.
True.
You can find out
True
who
crime.
killed, I don't know, who died.
All right. So what kind of podcast are we doing today? Do you guys know what the genre this would be?
Comedy?
Yeah, because we're funny.
Comedy about podcasts.
Yeah, I'm not funny,
learning
but I'm
about
funny looking.
podcasts.
Yeah, finally. Okay, so it's more like informational, I think it would be.
How long, like, do you guys hear or see the podcast?
I have an attention span of 45 minutes.
So if
Visual.
it's 45 minutes?
I
Gotcha.
go maybe like an hour. If it's visual, an hour. If it's like audio, I might be distracted. Not want to hear anymore.
I can do it if I'm driving. When I'm stuck in traffic all the time. So that's when I listen to everything. But yeah, I can do a solid 45 minutes.
Well, I'm a busy guy, so usually like 20 minutes max
Ah,
for both things.
I thought I was
You
doing
hear
that.
the
You got
short
20.
ones?
Yeah, bro. I just do the highlights, so see the highlights, and then just go on with my
Skip
day.
the beginning, go to the middle.
It goes to like the juicy part of the podcast. But also, like, I think, so one time I was actually looking up the format of a podcast. This is really interesting.
Okay.
So how they do it is they do it in like, obviously like a script in 3 acts. So it's like in the beginning is obviously the introduction, but then the middle of the podcast is where they also try to put like the interviews and like the random facts of the podcast. And then they like try to like sum it up in a way. But then when you think it would be wrapped up, that's not where it's wrapped up. They go into like the 3rd act, which is where they try to like bring you back and engage you for the following episodes. That's how they do it.
Are we engaging?
I got super passionate about that really fast.
Yeah, that's okay.
But yeah.
I want to know what your favorite podcasts are.
Ooh, my favorite podcast is Lovers and Friends by Shan Boudram, who is a sexologist.
Explain. The
Oh,
podcast. The podcast.
So her podcast is mostly talking about like relationships and relationship dynamics and how to have like healthy relationships with others but also with yourself, which is really cool because she's really
Any other podcasts you like?
Nah, fam. Attention span of 45 minutes.
Just move on.
It's like, that's my 45 minutes.
What about you, Celia? Do you have any?
I watched the podcast Unhinged by Chris Clements. He's more of like comedian. He talks about like stuff that happens to him or happens to his friends or like stuff around him, and then plays games, gives history about stuff, and then like just makes it funny. He has no filter. I like that because I'm like, oh, just go off, like just be yourself.
Exactly.
Don't worry about.
Unhinged, no filter.
Yeah.
You like that type of stuff?
We love Unhinged.
I like a podcast, which is video, and it's about like 4 friends, like 2 girls, 3 guys, and they just talk about, like, they ask a question and they just talk about it. Like, I'm gonna give an example. Is it a deal breaker if your significant other gets drunk and you cannot take care of them? and they just talk about it and like all their opinions, since it's like 2 girls and 3 guys. It's hilarious. So
My opinion, you slap them and then you wait till they fall asleep and then you slap them again and then you drag them outside and you just leave them there.
You sleeping
I might have
outside
to censor
today?
this, but you know,
try.
No censor.
Do you have a favorite podcast?
I have like 2 for sure. One of them is called Trash Taste for my fellow weebs out there. You know, they only talk about anime and that's literally it.
That's
and
okay.
Then, yeah,
Everybody loving anime nowadays.
it's been popping.
It's been popping. Even me, I don't watch it,
good,
but it's
bro.
been popping.
Go for it, dude. Anime is amazing. Just like
I
the
know.
storylines are just, mwah, you know,
We
The
can learn
OGs
something.
Are like,
Yeah.
oh, here they come.
right? And then there's 365 Days with MXM Toon. She's a singer who decided to make her own podcast, and she basically just talks about history and like just everything and anything. It's a solo podcast, but it's pretty fun to listen. And then I've also dabbled with Joe Rogan. I just love hearing the conversations, the stimulation each conversation and topic comes out with.
Nice.
Everybody has a different what they like and what they don't
Taste.
like. Yeah, different tastes.
Exactly.
Your taste
Trash
depends
taste.
on your.
Trash, trash.
That's hilarious.
How do you make a podcast?
How do you make a podcast?
That's the question.
That is the question. First of all, you need a microphone. Yes, maybe. I don't know. What you say? What you say?
A phone.
Celia?
Phone?
I'd say a phone. Why? Because you can just simply record stuff on there and then post it. So 2
but
things. Somewhere to record on, somewhere to post.
but you also need, I don't know why I picked up that accent, it's so cool. But you also need a theme or a topic of what you would like to talk about for your podcast. Because if there is no theme, there is no story. And if there is no story, there is no podcast.
Right.
Just yep, whatever she said, guys.
Oh my god.
But if you eventually have the money, you can get expensive microphones. You can get expensive.
How much does this
camera,
mic cost? It's like what?
Like $500.
Damn, I'm holding $500.
That's a
I
rent
got this
payment.
old school one, like
Woo!
karaoke.
I got my phone.
Those 2 mics you guys have are probably one of the best mics, dynamic mics. Because that's technically dynamic. Yeah, thank you. That's technically dynamic, but it's a special kind of dynamic. Those are like one of the best in the world. They are like $150, $200
Wow.
for those mics alone.
This is cool.
Sing karaoke.
What about that little box that you have where like the mic is like set up to? Like how much, what is that
This?
for?
This is just for recording audio.
No, that one.
The one
red
right
Oh,
there.
the red one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's called an audio interface. It's where you connect these kind of mics to. I think it was like $250 or so.
Chai has money, guys.
Yeah.
I don't
He
have
balling.
money.
Oh, okay, never
So if
mind.
you have money,
So
you get all of
basically-
this.
If
Eventually
you
can
want a
upgrade to get high
podcast, it's
quality stuff.
$1,000 as if you want good
That's
stuff.
not even including the computer
Oh, you
Damn.
need to
and
come
the
back.
cameras.
Work your butt off.
Yes.
Work your butt off.
So yeah,
I've been
start
working
small.
for
Start with
10
your
years.
iPhone.
Yes, just start.
Exactly.
Start somewhere.
Start somewhere. But yeah.
You gotta start somewhere.
Sure.
But as we said before, the important thing is the theme and the story. I love that accent. I'm gonna start rocking
It
that.
reminds me of Ratatouille.
Oh yes, that is probably where I got it from. It's my favorite
literally
movie.
read
Oh
my
my
mind.
god, I love that movie.
Ratatouille. Okay, hurry up so I can go home and watch Ratatouille.
We're gonna go home and watch Ratatouille on Disney Plus.
Well, that's actually a good place to end. We talked about everything.
Yes.
Thank you guys for joining our episode. We'll be having another one next week. Episode 50. Don't
Coming
say
in
anything,
strong.
Jasmine.
5-0.
I didn't say anything this time.
Yeah, thank you so much, Professor, for assigning us this project.
It was
And
fun.
now this is
One
a
of the
sponsored ad
best.
for Ratatouille.
Yes. Everybody go home and watch Ratatouille. Goodbye.
Bye. See you guys
Bye-bye.
soon.
Bye.
No one's gonna
The
listen
podcast
to
is
your
kind
podcast.
of bad.
Yeah, bad audio like this.
Oh, good.
This audio is
I don't think it's that bad.
positive.
For episode 50, 50 marker,
Just kidding. This is our first one.
It's our first one.
I'm just kidding.
We have Kevin Hart today, but you know what this was.
He's sponsoring us.
Thank you, Kevin. Well, thank you.
Tune in.
Tune in
To next week.
to next week. Everybody have a blessed day.
Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday. It was a great
Sunday
semester.
fun day.
Thank you, Professor. You made us make a podcast. And now we're all pros. And guess who's going to
We
start
can
her
make
own
our own
podcast?
podcast
If you
now.
put this in the
I
podcast,
think I'm
I'm going
supposed
to
to be
be
a
so mad at
podcast.
you. Bloopers. Do not put this in there.
Oh my God.
Adios.